Hey, what's going on, guys? According to the official patch notes, the team has put real work into the underlying game feel, online behavior, car handling balance, audio polish, and a handful of trackside fixes that regular racers are definitely going to notice over time. The first thing worth calling out is the improvement to shared memory mapping, because that kind of change may sound technical, but it is exactly the sort of thing that can make telemetry, overlays, and external tools behave more cleanly and more consistently. Right alongside that, the server browser pings have been reworked, which should make online browsing feel more reliable and make it easier to understand which servers are actually worth joining instead of guessing based on flaky ping behavior. Those two changes alone already suggest this hotfix is aimed at making the whole experience smoother, especially for players who spend a lot of time in menus, lobbies, and online sessions. There is also a very practical physics side adjustment here with the out-of-track surface tweak, and this is the kind of fix that instantly makes sense to anyone who has clipped a curb and then bounced over grass in a way that felt way too harsh. The update aims to reduce the chance of exaggerated jolts when touching grass behind curbs, which should make those little mistakes feel less absurd and more believable. At the same time, the Mazda MX5 NA and the Caterham 485 CSR have been given softer tires, which points to a clear effort to refine grip and make both cars feel a bit more compliant and less edgy in the places where they were probably asking too much from the driver. The Caterham 485 CSR also gets increased lift and drag, along with an adjusted aero balance, so this is not just a tire change. It is a proper handling pass that should affect how the car behaves at speed, under braking, and through faster sections. The BMW M3 E46 CSL is another car that received attention, with rear suspension setup and damping tweaks, and that kind of adjustment usually means the car is being nudged toward a more settled and better controlled platform. On top of that, the downshift auto blip rev matching has been fixed for the same car, which should help the transmission behavior feel more predictable and consistent when you are pushing hard and shifting aggressively. The Stradale also gets a correction to the default compound on both the road and track day versions, which is one of those fixes that might not sound dramatic at first, but it is exactly the kind of thing that can affect how a car feels the moment you load into it. There are also a bunch of presentation and authenticity tweaks, and these are the little details that help a sim feel complete. The Ferrari 296 GT3 has had its brake light emissive fixed, the Lamborghini Countach now shows the correct color for opponent brake lights, and the Porsche Cup Black Falcon Team Fanatec livery has been included. The Porsche 964 Turbo also gets customization updates, so there's a bit more room to make that car match your personal setup or taste. These are not massive gameplay overhauls, but they absolutely contribute to the feeling that the game is being cared for in a very hands-on way. Sound has not been ignored either. The Ferrari 288 GTO has updated audio and now includes a custom H-pattern gearbox sound, which is a nice touch for a classic car like that because it adds character and mechanical personality. The Ferrari F2004 and SF25 also received exterior volume balancing changes, which should help them sit better in the overall audio mix. Then there are the Porsche 718 GT4 RS and Porsche 992 GT3 RS, both of which have updated downshift timing and auto blip curve to emulate track mode. So those cars should now respond in a way that feels more aligned with how they are meant to be driven when things get serious. And finally, track limits have been adjusted at Road Atlanta and Sebring, including a wider turn 5 at Road Atlanta, which should clean up some of the edge cases where drivers might have been penalized unfairly or forced into awkward lines. Overall, this hotfix is all about refinement, realism, and consistency. And while it may not introduce brand new headline content, it is the kind of update that quietly improves the experience every time you get behind the wheel.